Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Time, chump.
Hey, Mike found the map. Wow, you guys realize what we could do? I don't want to go on any more of your crazy Goonie adventures.
Meet Mikey,
I gotta go fast.
Brand, Andy,
Shame. Come on, Brad. Slip her the tongue.
That's disgusting. No, I can't even look.
Mouse,
I gotcha. Now get out from behind there. You're ruining the painting. You're ruining my joke.
Stephanie, Data,
Booty banger. Ow. Guys, isn't that neat?
and Chunk.
Locked.
They call themselves the Goonies. They've stumbled onto a legend, but they're not alone.
Chunk, I hope that was your stomach.
No. That's the it. Sounds like Kong.
Discover what they uncover.
It was rubies and emeralds and diamonds.
The lost map.
Whoa! What is the start of the tunnel?
The secret caves.
Hey, Mikey! You can hear me! Run! Run! They're coming after you! Jungle!
The hidden clues.
Mikey!
The treacherous traps.
Hello, Sheriff. I'm at the Lighthouse Lounge, and I want to report a murder.
Just like that last prank about all those little creatures that multiply when you throw water on them.
Take the oath.
They're here! Somebody's coming!
Join the adventure as Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Hey up, it's Steve from that Old Yorkshire Geek. Oh, I've got a comment already. It's Wing Grace. Hey up, mate. All right. I hope Pennywise is down there. Yes, I hope they were. That was the trailer for The Goonies. Tonight's Monday, Moan. I've just watched it and I hate the bugger. It's awful. I thought I might change my mind because I hadn't seen it for a lot of years. By the way, I hope you can hear me. Let me check. Hang on. Just double check and make sure everything's working. It seems to be working there on YouTube, and it seems to be working on Rumble and on Twitch, because we're live, by the way. By the by, but I'll make sure we go in and that you can hear me. You can hear me moaning about this film, because it's awful. I think it is anyway. Oh, for God's sake, why can't you just go on thingy? I thought I'm talking to myself. Yes, you can hear me. Right, go away. Right, where were we? So, The Goonies, 1985 film, story by Steven Spielberg, produced by Steven Spielberg, Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, all them, Amblin Entertainment, directed by Richard Donner. How these people made a film so bad, I never know. But it did Hook as well. That might end up being in one of these. But I don't know a lot of people that really like Hook. It's one of those Marmite films, isn't it? Is Hook. You either love it or you hate it. And I hate it. Same with Goonies. I don't hate it, but I'm not a huge fan. So where were we? 1985 film starring Sean Astin, who you may know from Lord of the Rings. A young Josh Brolin, who's just a year younger than me, by the way. Almost exactly. A year and a couple of months. Younger than me. So he was 17 when he did this. Jeff Cohen, by the way, Sean Astin as Mikey, Josh Brolin as Brand, Jeff Cohen as Chunk, Corey Feldman as Mouth, Ki Hui Kwan, you may know from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as Data. Don't know how they call him that. Don't know. Who else? Kerry Green as Andy, Martha Plimpton as Steph, Anne Ramsey as Mama Fratelli, Robert Darby as Jake Fratelli, and Joe Pantoliano as Francis Fratelli, and also Mary Ellen Trainor, who seems to be in all of Richard Donner's films as their mother, and various other people as well. It had a budget of $19 million back then, and its box office was 125. So you could say it was it did well. It did well for its budget. Right, so let's get the film up. Hang on, there we go. Ottokar Kubi agrees with me. I could never see the hype about Goonies. Wasn't bad, but not memorable. I just don't like it. I've just watched it. I couldn't watch it in one go. I watched it after about an hour, and I had to turn it off because I had stuff to do. And then I finished watching it, just an hour ago. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But we're going to go through it, and I'll tell you why I don't like it at the various bits. I just don't think it's a kid's film. Yes, it's a kid's film. There's a lot of swearing in it. There's a lot of violence in it. Not super graphic, but enough. But I don't think Richard Donner's a kid's director. If you've seen the man in interviews, he's a big gruff bear of a man, or he was before he died. A big gruff bear of a man, and he's more known for his adult films. He's the man who brought us The Omen and Superman the movie, and the Lethal Weapon films, and other stuff. So I don't know why he decided to do the Goonies, because it's not in his wheelhouse. Apparently Steven Spielberg directed a scene. Don't ask me which one, but apparently he did. Right, so let's get this film up. Let me minimize that. I'll just get rid of that. I don't need it anymore. There we go. Get rid of you. And we'll get the film up. What do we need to do? Full screen. That's what we need to do. But we don't want the interface, do we? Do we? No. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. Add to stream. There we go. We'll get there in the end. By the way, I'm really, really tired today. I've had a super busy day today, and I woke up at 6 o'clock this bloody morning. 6 o'clock, crying out loud. Went to sleep at about 1-ish, woke up at 6, couldn't get back to sleep. So I've been busy today doing stuff, chores. But, such is life. Right, let's get on with this film. Obviously, we're not going to just play the film because, I get into trouble. So I'm just going to go through it in a series of stills. Might play the odd snippet. What else? Oh, while we're at it, don't forget, if you wouldn't mind, it'd be much appreciated. Like and subscribe, share the video when it's done. Drop a comment, join me in the live chat. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. As I said, we're live. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. We're live on Twitch. See if we've got any comments on Rumble. No. And comments on. Hang on, I'm going to have to. Where are we? What do I press? Is it that one? Yes, that's the one. No, there's nobody in the chat room. On Twitch. Where were we? I'm also on Twitch. Later on, when I can download it, I'll upload it to Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Podcasts. And I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links in the description, as are the links. Hang on, make me go full screen a minute. There we go. For me, 2 books: Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. They're on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. It's just a bit of fun. Don't take it seriously. I'm rubbish. I know I am. Right, off we go. Right, the film. I've got to remember my keys for skipping forward. Right, are we off? Yes, we're off. There we go. There's a pirate thing. Is it Pirates of the Caribbean? No, it's not. It's Goonies. But by the way, I might be snorting and smirking when they start talking about One-Eyed Willie, because that is hilarious in the UK. Right, Richard Donner film. God knows why. God knows why he decided to do this. The Goonies. But as I said, Steven Spielberg came up with the story. He must have been high on drugs or something. Chris Columbus of Gremlins, Harry Potter, probably some other stuff, fame, wrote the screenplay. Right, we start off, we're in a prison. There we go, lunchtime. The guard goes in and we see Robert Darby apparently hanged himself. So it starts on a bit of a down note. You know, kids' film. He's got a note on his saying to who it may concern, and I immediately thought it's to whom it may concern, but he just said to who it may concern. But he's supposed to be uneducated, I suppose. You know, why would I kill myself? And then we see he's not dead, as you can see there, he's smiling, and he knocks out the guard, and then somehow escapes, and I still don't know why. I still don't know why he escaped. How he escapes. Then we cut to outside. There we see Mama Fratelli. What else have I seen her in? Is it like Throw Mama from the Train or something like that? I've seen her in some other stuff as well. You know, she's I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she's a bit mannish, as Austin Powers would say. He'd punch her in the face with Austin Powers, wouldn't he? Anyway, she's there waiting by the car, and we see Joe Pantoliano. Oh, we did do. Oh, hang on, I forgot to mute it. Oh, never mind. See Joe Pantoliano running around with a gas can, pouring gasoline around. And then he gets in the car. There you go. By the way, you may know Joe Pantoliano from, among other things, the Daredevil film and The Matrix, where he played Cypher. I'm sure he's been in lots of other stuff. But that's just off the top of my head. Throw Mama from the Tree. Is that what she were in? Yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen it once, but I can't really remember much about it. Well, that's Sylvester Stallone. All right, I don't know. Anyway, Robert Darby appears at the prison gates. Somehow he's escaped. I don't know how. Well, they just want that one guard inside. Have all the other prisoners escaped as well? Don't know. He gets out, he gets in the car, and there's a funny bit where he's trying to open the door, but then the police finally, the other guards come out, and then Joe Pantoliano shoots the gasoline, and it all sets on fire. I bet the Mythbusters boys would have something to say about that. I bet they've tried shooting petrol before, and it's probably not ignited it. Because I know they've shot gas tanks on cars before to see if it makes cars blow up, and it doesn't. It just puts holes in the gas tank. Anyway, so there we go. So anyway, a car chase ensues, and then we see, starting in alphabetical order, Sean Astin. He may be able to carry Frodo up Mount Doom, but he can't carry this film, can he? Anyway, a low-speed car chase ensues, or a medium-speed speed car chase ensues. There we see. Is that Andy? I think it is. Maybe, I don't know. Doing some cheerleading stuff. There we see a lady nearly get run over. I think she's the new maid at the Walsh household, who we'll meet again in a moment. Here we see Corey Feldman. Is it Corey Feldman? Or was it the other one? I can't remember. I get my Corey's mixed up. Yes, Corey Feldman. Yes, Corey Feldman. Right, where were we? Corey Feldman is helping his dad. His dad must be a plumber. See, I've gone too far now. Have to, where are we? Audio, mute. There we go. To play it a bit. There we go. Play it a bit. And he goes over to help his dad. It skips like 10 seconds. And if I skip it, I'd just go past this bit. This, hilarious comedy. Look, he gets up on the counter. And water goes in his face. Look, he just sits there with water going in his face and he don't like move out of the way. Because it's comedy. That's Steph, played by that Plimpton woman. This is Data with his gadgets. and he's on this one. He's here we go. He's firing his. See, have I missed? I've gone too far. Yeah, I think I have gone too far. There you go. He got his gadgets. He had a little thing that popped open, and he fired it at that oil can and barrel, whatever. And it's the sucker is so powerful, it starts pulling it towards him. Yeah, it's on wheels. It's on wheels. We do see it's on wheels. But then not only that, it pulls him towards the can. Look, so that's an amazing. It must have really good spit or something, like super glue spit. So that's that. So there we learned that he does gadgets, much like One-Eyed Willie. Spoilers for later on, who also does gadgets. Right, we see Chunk. I think he's in a restaurant eating something. He's always eating. Music score by Dave Grusin. By the way, this music score, actually, this part here anyway, reminds me a lot of the beginning of Trading Places. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is similar. It just reminded me of it. But there we go. I think I read it. It's based on something, but I can't remember what. Something to do with Don Juan or something. I can't remember. So he sees the car chase. I think it's all super exciting. And oh yeah, hang on. And he spills all this stuff all over him. Look, because he's a stupid boy. Immediately, I was like, finger ends were tingling. I was thinking, this film is so bad, it's making me finger ends tingle. Does that happen with anybody else? Or do we need to see a doctor? Right, so there we go. Throw her into four-wheel drive and hold on to your hats. By the way, I was surprised to see when she set off, it actually had a manual gearbox. I didn't think you could do them in America. Oh, the way they escape is, by the way, I've just noticed that. You can't really see because it cut off there, but on my copy here, the right-hand side is cut off. You can't see the end of Spielberg, Frank Marshall, or Kathleen Kennedy. Can't see their names, but never mind. Do they appear? Do they scroll on? Let me press play. Oh yes, they do. Sorry, they scroll. They were scrolling on. Anyway, they escape by hiding among this, four-wheel drive race that's happening on the beach. So there they go. Screenplay by Chris Columbus. Story by Steven Spielberg. There we go. Wingray says, oh, hang on, he's going to put me right. All my cars were manual until my new one. Yeah. I didn't think you could use. I thought you all your cars were automatics over there, like driving a bumper car. Anyway, I'm just having a laugh with you at your expense. Right, what's happening now? Right, we're at the Walsh house, and what's that say on the? You can't see it from my fat head. On the mailboxes, us, them. I don't know. Them, us, them. That's what it says. Who's them? I don't know, but that's us. Then here. Pardon me. That's something we don't have in the UK. Mailboxes. Thank God, because our mail would get stolen if we had mailboxes. We've got letterboxes in our front doors. That's where our mail comes in. Anyway, right. So what's happening? See, Mikey is looking through a telescope at something. I don't know what. Can't remember. Now we see Josh Brolin in the background doing his workout. And to be honest, my favourite character in this film is actually Josh Brolin. I think he's the best part of it. Pronouns in the 80s. Yes, us and them. They, them. Anyway, so we learned that in a bit, yeah, the moving, they've got to move out because I think the house is being foreclosed. They can't afford to stay there anymore. And all that jazz. Then what's his face appears. Mouth appears. They call him that because he's always talking. He's got a mouth on him. So there we go. There's Josh Brolin still working out. We learn he's flunked his driving test and he wanted to go on a date with Andy, Andy's a girl, by the way, who we're going to meet later. But he can't drive her now because he's didn't pass his driving test. There we go. So you have no mailbox baseball where hooligans drive around and smash them off with baseball bats. No, they just do that to your cars. Dear. And Ottercar says, it's not cricket. No, not cricket. Anyway. Then Chunks arrived. He says he's seen the most amazing thing in his life. And then the thing I hate, one of the things I hate most in this film, he's got to do the truffle shuffle before they let him in because he can't get through the gate for some reason until they do the. I presume Data made this contraption to open the gate. I presume. I don't know. Maybe it tells us I wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest. But he's got to do the truffle shuffle. So the let he does that, and it means he pulls his top up and he goes and all that and does a little dance, and it's stupid and I hate it. So they let him in, but they've got to do a Mission Impossible style gadget thing, like, you know, like things that you see on YouTube where they like start off with dominoes and they're falling and toppling, and it gets better and better as it goes on. It's one of those, like a mousetrap, the game Mousetrap. It's like that. All this, there we go. See all this stuff goes on. Bing, dong, bong, ding. There you go. And thus the gate opens. So in he comes. You turd. They're talking about the car chase he saw because there was shooting and stuff going on between the cops and the Fratellis. And we learn he's a bit of a storyteller. Maybe so. Okay, Michael Jackson didn't come to my house to use the bathroom. You know, he's a bit of a tall tales. Yes, Mousetrap. So they don't believe him, basically. What's happening there? What's that there? Is that a seagull floating in the air? What's happened there? I can't make out what's going on. Is it just a weird pause I've done? I can't work that out. What's that there? Is it a UFO? Anyway, here comes Data on one of his. Why do they call him Data? I don't know. But that's how they pronounce it as well, Data, not Data. Because that's not his name, Data. He's called something else. It's his nickname. I don't know why though. And he comes over on a slide, rope slide kind of thing. I think to James Bond music. I think I could be wrong. As I said, I wasn't paying that much attention. But here he comes, and they're all falling about and doing kid-like things. Don't care. Knock over this statue and break off its one-eyed Willie. So we have two one-eyed Willies in this film. And they break it off. So there you go. We'll learn about having to move house. And there you see the statue has no one-eyed Willie. Then Mum arrives. The lovely Mary Ellen Trainor, and apparently she's only, I think she's only like 15 years older than, 12 years older than Josh Brolin in this film, and I think 15 years older than Sean Astin. So there you go. She must have been a child bride, much like I forgot her name, JoBeth Williams in Poltergeist. Diane, her character were only like must have been 15 when she got pregnant with Dana in that film. But you know, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Right, so she's come home and she's bringing this. I forgot her name. Hang on, I want to check it. Rosalita, played by Lupe Ontiveros. Rosalita, the Walsh family's Mexican housekeeper who can only speak Spanish. But luckily, Mouth can speak Spanish. He's just not a very good translator. Well, he could be if he wanted to be, but he's a big shit. So he mistranslates everything because he thinks he's being funny. Anyway, hang on, there we go. So she's introduces her, she's going to help out. So they can't afford the house, but they can afford a bloody housekeeper. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wish I could afford a housekeeper. There we go, Mrs. Well, Mrs. Wallace, I speak perfect Spanish. There we go. So he's translating. They fix the that, but they put it on upside down, as we see in a minute. There we go. So she's telling them what to do, where the socks go and the underpants in the drawers and all that. And then he translates it as, this is where the drugs go, the cocaine in the top drawer, the heroin in the bottom drawer, whatever. He's saying all that. There you go, the heroin in the bottom. Then they've put the one-eyed Willie on upside down on the statue. Not a statue, is it? What is it? I don't know. It is a statue, isn't it? But the statues are big, aren't they? It's a figurine. That's the word I'm looking for. On the figurine. There you go. The attic. Mr. Walsh doesn't like anyone going up there. Because, he's researching on one-eyed Willie. Meanwhile, Mouth's telling her, that's where people are murdered or whatever. I don't know what he says. I can't remember. There you go. And says, if you do a bad job, you'll be locked in here with the cockroaches. She didn't say that. He's just saying that. But she stays with them. She says this is a crazy house, and she stays with them. Anyway. Right, so she's telling, she's got to go shopping with Rosalita. And so she's telling Brand, Josh Brolin, that there you go, he takes one step outside and you are in absolutely the deepest stuff. What's she going to say? Oh, yeah. Shit, ma. Yeah, there we go. So they've got to stay in. Mikey has anyway, and his friends will stay with him. But they're going to go upstairs and check the attic. There we go. By the way, I don't know where his dad is. Maybe he told us, but as I said, I won't pay much attention. We see him at the end of the film, but I don't know where he is at the beginning. Maybe he's like the dad in Gremlins. Maybe he's an inventor off doing something somewhere. I don't know. So they're in the attic and they're looking for something to do with, I don't know, One-Eyed Willie or whatever. I don't know. This is where they find the map, anyway. This is the hilarious thing with the tongue through the painting. Look, there we go. Very funny. Very funny. There's a book on pirates and, skull and crossbone flags and stuff. And all that jazz. I think he's got a what do they call them now? I've got one. Like a plasma ball. It's a plasma ball, isn't it? That's what it is. A Van de Graaff generator. That's what I was trying to think of. He's got one of those. Anyway, so here we go. I think this is the map. They found the map. So his dad must be don't have to be a scientist to have a Van de Graaff generator. I mean, I've got one and I'm not a bloody scientist. He's got stuff in the attic anyway. All right, so they get this map out. There we go. And it's in Spanish, so luckily Mouth can translate it. They're talking about One-Eyed Willie, and One-Eyed Willie must be like a local legend, because everybody knows the story of One-Eyed Willie, that he's got treasure somewhere, etc. There you go. One-Eyed Willie stole a treasure once, blah, blah, blah. By the way, the acting in this film is absolutely atrocious. I know the kids, but apart from Josh Brolin, who's okay, but the rest of them are bloody awful. Bloody awful. And the only good bits of the kids is when Chunk is like blubbering and stuff and doing his confessions to the Fratelli family later. That was quite amusing. The rest of it's awful. There we go. Got into a cave, blah, blah, blah. One-Eyed Willie and his bunch were down there for years with all their treasure, setting booby traps so anybody who tried to get in would die. There we go. So that's what we're learning. And then we learn about Chester Copperpot was a local person who went missing. They find him later. Spoilers. So they decide they're going to go and find the treasure, so they won't have to move. They can buy the house, etc. That's their plan, but they've got to get out of their house first. I'd also find a doubloon with 1632 on it. Then these chaps arrive. I presume they're from the bank. They've some paperwork for his dad, for Mike's dad. So they give it to Brand. So they'll be calling tomorrow. So we're on the ticking clock. They're coming back tomorrow to claim the house. Right. So there we go. So Mike is not happy. There we go. Brotherly love and all that. It's it's about family. It's not Fast and Furious. Go, God, I'm depressed. Yeah, you're a bloody kid. You ain't got time to be depressed. There you go. They've got the map. But they've got to get out. Oh, there we see a bit of a Cyndi Lauper. She might be singing "Girls Want to Have Fun." I don't know. That's the only song I can think of. Hang on, there we go. Windgrace says one thing that's actually interesting about this movie is that it was fairly recently proven that it takes place on the same day as Back to the Future. What? Oh, right. November 15th. Is that? I think that's when Back to the Future happened, didn't it? Well, November. I think it was November 15th. Or was that when or was that November 15th, 1955, when he invented the flux capacitor? I think that's what it wanted. I can't remember what date it was in 1985. You'll have to illuminate me, Windgrace, on that one. But if that's true, that's really interesting. That's really interesting, because that was also a Steven Spielberg production. That film won't be appearing in this series of Monday Moan because that's a classic. Anyway, there we go. Cyndi Lauper. All right, so the tie up Brand with his bulwark or whatever they call it. I bet that hurts as well, because the metal, aren't they? They'll be, his skin will be getting caught in it and stuff. But they do that. Tie him up and run out of the house. Against his mother's wishes. But so they've got to go and find the treasure to save the house. They're on a mission. They've got stuff to do. It's a noble mission they're on in their eyes. Mum comes back with Rosita, finds Brand tied up, and he goes out to chase after them. Oh, there's his dad. What's he doing? I've no idea. I can't remember. By the way, there'll be bits of it that I've no idea what's going on, because I kept getting up and doing stuff and not pausing it. So bear with me. So there's his dad. Looks a bit of a nerd. He's got a bow tie. So is that a tank top? Yeah, probably. So looks a bit of a nerd, which is not a bad thing. Anyway, so he goes out, goes to his bike, does Brand, to chase after his brother and his friends, the Goonies. Chase after the Goonies. That's what they call themselves. It's something to do with the area where they live, Goon Docks or something. The area where they live in Astoria. That's the name of the town. So they call themselves the Goonies. So he's going to chase after them, but they've burst his tires. So he takes this little girl's bike, and I'll just play it. I'll just play it because it annoys me. Look, takes it. Look, and there she's. Look. Child actors, eh? Stomp your feet as though you're angry. That's what Richard Donner said. Stomp your feet as though you're angry. God, I hate kids. Anyway, right, so chasing after them. Right. So they're going to find, there we go. They're going to find, by the way, there's a bit of I'm going to make a Star Wars reference in a minute. So they're using the map to find where the treasure could be. Oh, by the way, this is Andy and let's go back again. Andy, and I've forgotten his name, so I'll have to check. No, it's not coming to me. Did he Troy? It's Troy, isn't it? Yes, Troy. Yes. This is Troy, who also wants to go out with Brandy, but Troy can drive. He hasn't failed his driving test. And there's Steph in the back. Don't ask me. I've seen her in something else, but I can't think what. But I've seen her in something else. Does it say on here? Hang on, where are we? Where is she? Martha Plimpton. Goonies, Mosquito Coast, Shy People. Nah, I don't know. Rollover. Nah. But I've seen her in something. apart from this. Right, anyway. So they're in his car, and they come across Brand on that little bicycle with training wheels on. By the way, he's using the rear view mirror to check out Andy's. Well, he's checking out her legs there by the looks of it. She said they were looking down her top, but that's not her top, is it? Yeah. There we go. They come across Josh Brolin pedaling away with his training wheels. Not going very fast. It'd have been quicker running, to be honest, but anyway. So the tricky holds onto his hand and sets off driving, and there we go. All sparks, look, and it's Josh Brolin. Why don't you just punch him in the face and let go of him? You know, crying out loud. It's James Brolin's son. So he ends up going. There we go. And goes over the edge of the road. There, he could have died for all we know. Look, there he goes. Anyway. So they're at the coast, and I don't know where this was filmed, by the way. Shall we check? Where was it filmed? Where was it filmed? Principal photography. Where's it filmed? Is it going to tell us? Some of the on-location filming was done in Astoria. Oh, is that a real place? It must be. Astoria, Oregon. All right, so there you go. There you go. So that's where it's filmed, Astoria, Oregon. And the Goonies bicycle to Akola State Park, which is over 26 miles from Astoria. So there you go. But kids could do that in them days. When they used to go out and play, we used to go for miles, didn't we? Maybe not 26, but we used to go for a long way from home. As long as we were back before the street lights came on, you didn't get into trouble. And as long as you could hear your mum shouting for your tea, you could hear them. Stephen! Could hear them, and then that's what it was. Anyway, right, so they're here. So they've been looking around. There we go. This is the Star Wars Rise of Palpatine reference. He uses the doubloon. He must be standing in the exact location. A bit of bad green screen compositing there, because they're obviously on the. That doesn't look real, does it? The edge looks a bit peculiar. But there you go. They've got to line up these things. The two rocks and a lighthouse. He must be stood in the right place. I presume it's at arm's length. I suppose it depends how long your arms are. But they did that in the Rise of Palpatine, didn't they, with that stupid dagger? Anyway, so they know where to go. They know they're in the right place. So they've got to go and check, the lighthouse, which was a restaurant. I don't know, but it isn't anymore. So they go there. There it is. And they see that the Fratellis are there as well. And for some reason, they think that the restaurant is still open. I don't know why, because it's obviously by the looking at it, you can see it's all run down and dilapidated. But kids. Anyway, they're going to go in anyway. Lots of clunky dialogue. As you see, Chunk don't want to go in because he's the smartest of the bunch, to be honest. Soda pop, boy, am I thirsty, but there's none in. Right, they're looking in and they see whatever. And Chunk finds the 4-wheel drive vehicle that were in the car chase. Sees there's bullet holes, and there we go, bullet holes. And goes running after them, but then Mama Fratelli's there. So they're being captured by the bad guys. Here's Robert Darby, who for some reason is singing a lot in this film. Apparently, he's a trained opera singer, Robert Darby. I didn't know that until I looked it up for this film. But I was thinking, when I watched it, I thought, I bet somebody said during this film, during they were making it, Robert's a bit of a singer, why can't you have him singing in it? And Richard Donner says, yeah, why not? Give it a go. And apparently, yes, apparently it was Robert Darby's idea to do sing opera in it. But he does. Anyway, so they've captured these kids. And they order water because they think, they're still going with this. It's a restaurant that's still open. and the bad guys are playing on, and she threatens to cut out Mouth's tongue. Look, so, fun and games for kids. But Mikey asks to. He gives them the water, and it's very brown. Mikey asks if he can use the restroom. So off he goes to check out the restroom, and is down in the basement. He says, "Go down and turn right," or whatever, and obviously he goes left. So he's looking for somewhere to find one-eyed Willie's treasure. They think there's like a tunnel or whatever. That's what they're doing. Get to the treasure. So he's down there, and this very we come across Sloth, the deformed chap. It's actually a pretty good prosthetic, I suppose. He's got an eye that blinks and his ears move. I'm saying pretty good, His eye blinks and his ears move, so there you go. That's good in my book. And Robert Darby's singing opera to him, and I don't think Sloth likes that. And they've got him chained up because he's big and strong, and he's watching old movies. So Mike goes back and Brand has arrived, and he gathers them up, and they all escape. They get out just in time. Then they see they're putting bodies in. There you go. I can't remember who it is. They've got a fella and they've killed him. There you go. We could have taken him to the side of a road and shot him in the brain, but they're putting the body in the back of their car. We see it later on. Bullet hole there for kids. Kids film. Obviously, Chunk wants to go home because it's dinner time, but Mike is reminding them that he won't have a home this time tomorrow. So they've got to carry on with their noble quest of finding one-eyed Willie's treasure. They come across Andy and Steph arrive, and she's blown off, so to speak, Troy. And then she's tilting the mirror so he could look down my shirt. She don't like him. She likes Brand. Pardon me. Right, so they go back in. Because they've seen the Fratellis drive away, by the way. So they think it's safe to go back in. Oh, excuse me. Have I got a drink? Yes, I have. It's here. So they're going back in. And they're finding the way. Then they've followed them. I don't know what happened. She says something scared them, but I don't know what. I can't remember. I looked away. Oh, somebody stood on a rake. All right, it's that. That scared them. Because the girls. Right, so where they're going. I presume they're going down in the basement. I can't actually remember. Yes, they're going down into the basement. They hear Sloth making his noises. They keep going down. They avoid Sloth. Chunk doesn't. Yeah, well, not yet anyway. What's happening here? Sloth's having a drink of water. What is it with this kid? Has he got some eating disorder? For crying out loud. There's something up with him, isn't there? Anyway. There you go. That's Steph saying, I feel like a babysitting except I'm not getting paid. Well, yeah, sort of. And she's saying, Brandy's being so sweet. And there you go. They know there's something down there. They can feel air coming up through the grating. What's happening here? He's found some sort of machinery. Don't ask me. Oh, it's printing press. They do counterfeit money, I think. Is that a fifth? Andy starts with $50 bills. Start shouting that. By the way, a lot of this film, when he speaks, does short round. Can't tell a bloody word he's saying. Can't tell a word. Good job I had the subtitles on. Anyway, $50 bills. Who's that on the $50 bill? Don't know. I'm not American, you see. We have the Queen on our money. But now we'll be having the King soon. I haven't come across any yet, but with King Charles on. But who's on your $50 bill? Tell me, Win Grace, now. Come on, if you're listening still. Who is that? It'll be somebody famous. Anyway, so that's what the Fratellis are doing. They're counterfeiting money. Is it Roosevelt? Oh, right. Hang on. The real 50 is Ulysses S. Grant. Is that like a Confederate joke? Because I know he was a Confederate general once, I think. I don't know. I'm not really up on American history. I wouldn't be, I'd fail the the naturalization test. Ulysses S. Grant. This bill looks like Roosevelt. Oh, right, okay. Teddy. I presume Teddy Roosevelt, is it? I presume. A fella who went and shot bears, didn't he? No teddy bears were named after. Grant was 18th president of the United States. Oh, right, okay. But he were a Confederate general, though, wasn't he? Sure he was. But, didn't stop him. Anyway, whatever. Right. You get 25 years for counterfeiting, blah, 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 blah. Oh, them sort of learning who they are. Look, Fratelli's at it again. So they know who they are now. What's happening? It's a dead body they've found. Yes, it is. Look, it's a dead body they've found. There we go. I think the Fratellis have come back. Yep, they've come back. I think Chunk gets caught here. I think, and they escape into the tunnels. They're putting the body back. There you go. They're squeezing down through the grating. The Fratellis are coming after them. Can't find Chunk. Where's Chunk? Chunk gets captured by the Fratelli. Grant was a Union general, basically the one they attribute the defeat in the Confederate. Oh, I've got it wrong way around. Well, who were the famous Confederate general then? I don't know. As I said, I'd fail the test. I'd never be a US citizen. Anyway. Got to go and check on. Tells them to go and check on. I forgot his name already. Sloth. So I think this is where they capture Chunk, whose name is Lawrence, by the way. Chunk says he's going to call the police, and he does later, but not yet. All right, so they're working the way down through the tunnels. There we go. All right, this is it. Chunk gets away. General Lee, that were it. General Lee, I'm thinking of. That's the one. I'm thinking of General Lee. Yes, I should have known that. Bloody car in the Dukes of Hazzard. That was the General Lee, wasn't it? See, that's my American history. Anyway, where were we? Chunk escapes and he comes across a car. One car goes straight past him. The next one stops, and you can tell that it's the baddie's car. But he goes up to it and he's saying, "You've got to help me." And he's looking straight into the windows. Why do you bloody recognise him? He's saying, "We found the Fratellis and I can give you a description and all that." And then the light comes on and we see that it's Robert Darby in the car. And he starts singing again for some reason. And he continues singing, and then we see his reflection in the mirror, and he sees his reflection not singing. So a bit of bad editing there. But anyway, so they grab Chunk, throw him in the back of the car with the dead body. So anyway, they go down. They find these lanterns, which are amazingly good lanterns. They can keep lit, even when you walk through a waterfall. And that's good lanterns. Well, I think they are anyway. There we go. They find all these pipes. These are gas pipes and water pipes and stuff. And they decide to bash them to try and... oh, what's that? Oh, hello, Joshua. What's that? There you go. Hiya, Joshua. Welcome to the show. You haven't missed much. It's the Goonies, after all. They decide to bash the pipes, so see if somebody can hear them, in a building somewhere. But They seem to be like in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know who's going to hear them. But stuff does happen somehow. So start hitting all these pipes. And there we go. There's Astoria Country Club. Must be somewhere nearby. Don't know how near, but it must be. Data was the kid in Temple of Doom. Yes, he was. Yes, short round. Thought I recognised him from somewhere. Yes. Hang on. I'll share that. Yeah. Yes, I called him short round earlier because I couldn't remember his real name. But yeah. And recently, he's an Oscar winner in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I still haven't seen. But I'll get round to it eventually. Right, so then we come to the Astoria Country Club. See this fella having fun and games with this water fountain that keeps going up and down because they're pulling on the pipes from wherever they are. All the pipes lead to that place, that room where they are, it seems. You can see some chap going into the shower, and then all the shower. Hang on, let's go back a bit. All the shower controls suddenly disappear into the wall. There you go. Somehow, don't know how. I mean, all they're doing is just banging on the pipes. How's all this happening? And then Troy goes into the loo. There you go, to read his book on guns and ammo. I'd have thought it'd have been, some other adult literature, being Troy, but never mind. And there we go. And we see that there we go. Reverse pressures happening. Shouting it, like in a Michael Bay film. And he's lucky he doesn't get killed. Look, he could have killed him, couldn't he? That stupid film. Right, so I don't know where they're going here. They're going down some more pipes. They're threatening to blend Chunk's hand. Kids' film. They're threatening to blend his hand if you don't tell them, all about it. It's awful. Oh, I've got to share that. Yeah. Another of my favourites, says Joshua. I still can't believe I dislike it so much. I actually dislike this more than The Princess Bride, which we did last week. That, I didn't like it, but I don't like this one even more. This just annoys me. I just don't. So they're threatening him, a bit of child threatening. There's Joe Pantoliano with his hands round a child's throat. Couldn't make this film these days, could you? And there we go. This is actually probably my favourite bit of the film, to be honest, where Chunk's giving all of his confessions about everything he's done. And so this is a funny thing, to be honest. I did quite like that. To be honest, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Right, so they're going down into these tunnels with their amazing lanterns that they've just found. This is this bit with Andy keeps going on. Terribly acted, really bad acting, going on about how she wanted to grow old and she don't want to get old and have her hair fall out or something. And this is like that man there, and then we see a skeleton on the floor. And it turns out this is I forgot his name, Chester Cobblepot. It's not the penguin. I keep saying Oswald Cobblepot. Is it Copperpot? Whatever. It's him. He's trapped under a big boulder, look. So he's set off one of the booby traps, it seems. They find out that it is him, and he's carrying on with his confessions. This is one of your tricks, right? One-eyed Willie. Oh, dear. So this is where they learn about the booby traps. And they find out that this is there we go. They find his wallet, and they find it is Chester Cobblepot. I don't bloody know his name. And they find some candles. Are they retarded? I'm sorry for saying that, but it gets me really mad because I'm sure it says on dynamite in bloody big letters. Look, a bit. It says there's something else here. Hey, look at this. Candles. Look, it says on dynamite. So Data says, short round, says they're going to set some. We keep saying booty traps, and they keep correcting him saying booby traps. And he says, yes, that's what I said, booby traps, because it's funny. He's going to set booby traps, in case the Fratellis follow them. Then they find some sort of object that's supposed to be a representation of One-Eyed Willie or something. I also find the wire. So he pulls on the wire, because he's clever, and sets off one of the booby traps. Remember, they've already found a fella killed and trapped under a massive rock. So he's just set off loads more. He tells them all to run. There we go. That's what's happening. Look. So they've all to run. They almost die. Reminiscent of the Indiana Jones ball rolling scene, except this is big boulders dropping down. But obviously they escape. They get away. They don't die. And then loads of rats come flying out. Not rats. What am I talking about? Bats. Well, they are airborne rats, aren't they? Loads of bats fly out. Look at them. Look at the state of them. Hang on. Here they come. Look. That actually looks quite good, does that, where they're coming out? But then it shows them in front of the faces, like bats on strings. Showers. Look, angling there. Oh dear. Anyway. Meanwhile, we're going to get rabies. Meanwhile, he's still going on his chunk. When he went to a movie theatre, he made up some fake puke. He went to a movie theatre, went into the balcony and pretended he was throwing up and chucked it on people down. Down below, then they all started throwing up, and never felt so bad in my life. And then Robert Darby says, "I'm starting to like this kid." Oh dear. So that's that. But then they threaten to, blend his hand, and but they don't. And then we find out that Joe Pantoliano is bald and wears a toupee. There you go. Hilarity. Why? And why all the bats come through, by the way, then through the fireplace or whatever. And then he shouts down. He says, "If you can hear me, run! They're coming after you." But I don't think they can hear him. Oh, anyway, now here we go. They find this waterfall and they walk through it with these lanterns that are supposed to be like, gas, oil lamps or something like that. And they stay lit, so they're obviously well protected. If it shows. Right, and he stands there in the waterfall, looking at all these coins that are there. He's just, as you say, look, he's just standing there, look, just with the water like just running down his face. I'd be like, that's what I'd be doing. But he just stands there. And there you go. There's a lantern going through the waterfall. It's fine. Look, another one there. Look. They've gone round, I suppose. They've gone round the side. Oh, cracky. Yeah, Robert Darby's cool. I just wish, he were in a better film than this. He were good. He were a good James Bond villain. It's nothing personal. It's simply business. That's my Robert Darby impression. Anyway, right. So they find all these coins. There we go. And they find that some of them aren't old. And it turns out they're underneath a wishing well. And I said that first time I saw it. I saw all these coins. I thought, that look like a wishing well. And it turns out it is, because they're underneath a wishing well that went outside that old restaurant, lighthouse thing. And then Troy appears at the well for some reason. There we go. So we can't take them because these are somebody else's wishes. Not the bloody coin. Take them. But Mouth says this one right here is my wish, and it didn't come true, so I'm taking it back. He's grabbing the coins. They decide to keep not to blend Chunk's hand. Terence Trent D'Arcy. Oh, I wish him well. Yeah, Terence Trent D'Arby, yes. Wish him well, Thingy-my-bob. I don't know the words because I didn't like that song either. So they put Chunk in with Sloth in a minute. They find that he's got the doubloon. So this is how they find out about the treasure. Meanwhile, Troy and his friends have arrived at the wishing well, luckily enough, just at that point when they're down there. So they call up and actually no, he drops a coin down and must be an amazing thrower or whatever. It just because it looks quite a way down. He just throws it back up. Just whoever's down there, whoever catches it. And they talk to Andy. Say, "Oh, Andy, is that you down there?" And she says, "Yeah, just send down the bucket." Anyway, meanwhile, Sloth's watching Captain Blood, starring Errol Flynn. But they're locking Chunk in there with him. You probably think he's going to be scared of Sloth, and he is, But they become friends at the end, and tear jerking at the spoilers. But anyway, there it is. We see him. Ah, look, he's all hills of eyes and all that. Michael Berryman. Oh, dear. So, help, let me out of here. But Sloth's nice. We find out. So they decided they're going to go in and find the treasure and get rid of these snooping kids. Rare Raggy. So what's happening next? So they're going to use the bucket to escape from there. Hang on, where are we? Did he? Captain Blood is a great one. The story, the movie's based on two. Is it? I don't know. I've not seen Captain Blood, so I've heard of it, but I've not seen it. Well, I don't think I have, unless I've seen it as a kid. But I don't think I've seen it. But I hear it's a classic. Anyway, I don't think. I think something the rope or something is not strong enough to tell. I don't know, but they decide to not escape, and she sends Troy. She's got wearing Troy's jacket, and she sends that back up for whatever reason. Mike is got asthma. There you go. She sends Troy's jacket back up. Don't know why. Probably just to break up with him. By the way, my son's coming. I'm in the middle of a show, Aidan, again.
Yeah, I've been hearing you for hours.
No, you haven't been even for hours. I've been going an hour.
I didn't think it'd be so long.
Yeah, well, I am. Anyway, Chunk gives Sloth his Babe Ruth candy bar, and there we go, Baby Ruth. Sorry, we don't have them here.
I was about to correct you.
I am carrying on, Aidan. Yeah, thank you. But I think he drops it, and Sloth gets cross. But it just breaks through out of his chains. His chains come out, and then he gets the candy bar, and they make friends. Eventually, there we go. And he gives him a big kiss. There we go. Right in a minute. Here we go. You ready? There you go. Big kiss on the lips. It's harmless fun. My foot's itching. Oh, harmless. It's harmless fun. What?
I'm waiting for my dinner.
Yeah, well, when I've done this, I'll sort you some dinner out.
You're gonna order?
No.
Yes, you are. don't argue in front of your audience.
Well, we've got Ottercar, Joshua, and Windgrace watching with me, and somebody else as well, because it says we've got 4 people watching. Listening to you, wanting me to make you dinner.
Don't argue in front of them.
Not arguing. Anyway.
Please order from Chili Chicks if it's open.
Whatever. Right, go on, let me continue. The quicker you slide out, the quicker I'll be finished, won't I?
There's a cat outside. I can't tell what it is.
Okay.
So I don't just turn the light on while you're doing a show.
Right, okay. Well, no, it's fine because the camera's pointing this way. So
So I can turn the light on.
yes, if you want to, yeah. My son. Anyway, where were we? Right, so they found something. Mouth, hold this, translate this. They found something for him to translate. Oh, this is the music thing, isn't it? I think. Triple stones. Don't remember this bit. I must have got up to do something. Right. This is obviously some sort of key that they've found, isn't it? So, and he gets his hand stuck, doesn't he? Thing closes up. Another booby trap, like a bowling ball or something, comes rolling down. It's one of Willie's tricks. One-eyed Willie giggle. But look, the spikes that they only just, avoid. Anyway, right, so Chunk's got on the phone. He's called the police, but the police don't believe him and they make a Gremlins reference. They said, oh, is it like that? And those creatures appeared that if you threw water on them or whatever. Yeah. So Gremlins reference. But they're not going to go, the police. What, Ed?
There's a moth in the kitchen.
Right, okay, whatever. I'll see to it later.
The moth in the kitchen.
Right, okay. I'll see to it later. You just said.
Recording it. I'm trying to ruin it for you.
Okay. Don't touch that or I'll get cross.
I'm not going to touch it.
Right, okay.
Do you mind if I wave my hand in front of it?
If you want, but you're just disrupting. It's like I feel like these newscasters when people run into the studio and disrupt the broadcast. Yes, go on. Let me get on with this. Hey, right, where are we? Sloth's going into the fireplace. There we go. I'm scared of his echo. So anyway, they become friends. Don't know what I was asking here. Can't remember. They all need a wee. That's what it is. They're saying they all need a wee, so they're going into different tunnels to have a wee. Sloth does something with these pipes that go to the country club, and something else happens. I can't remember what. Let's see. Yeah, they've gone too far. Something happens, but I can't remember what happens. He grabs one of these pipes, and something happens. Elsewhere. I don't remember what. We'll find out, I think, in a moment. Maybe. His pixelated face. To VLC player. Come on, then, you know something. No, don't show it. Never mind. Anyway, right. Andy's got a plan that she wants to kiss Brad. Not Brad. Brand. Josh Brolin. So she calls out, and but he's in the middle of peeing. So he sends Mikey. So Mikey goes, and she grabs and kisses Mikey. Oh, hilarity! And then the friend sees what's happened and doesn't tell her. So there we go. She kissed Mikey instead of Brand. So what? Don't care. Right. The Tellies are still on their tail. Where are they? Did he? Oh, I get to this slippery log, but they make it across. Another one of Data's inventions. He oils the log as he's the last to go over. He oils the log to make it even more slippery. So off they go. And have the candles. The log's slippery, so Joe Pantoliano slips and lands awkwardly. And say, are you all right? No. Yes, funny. They get to this skeleton keyboard thing. It's supposed to be like an organ, I think, a pipe organ. It's made of skeleton bones. And Andy apparently took piano lessons when she was 4. So they expect her to know how to play a piano bone keyboard. But anyway, so she's got to play this tune. The notes are on the map that they've got. She's got to play this tune and get it right. If she don't get it right, they'll all die. Anyway, so she gets the first lot right, and we see a door start to open. There you go. It's working, and then she gets it all wrong, and the floor starts collapsing. There we go. To some, nice, matte paintings, whatever. It's a well-made film. I'm not knocking that, and it's a nice-looking film, I suppose, mostly, but still a bit crap. Anyway, the Fratellis are coming. Look, they're coming. Says Short Round. So she carries on playing, gets a bit more wrong, more floor collapses. There we go. But she finally gets it right, and the door opens, and they get through. There we go. Just in time. And then they go down a water slide for some reason. Don't know why, but it's a really long one. And off they go down this water slide that's perfectly smooth. It must be some volcanic lava tube or something. I don't know, but it's perfectly smooth. Totally all right. And out they come into this this pool, and this is where they find the Inferno, One-Eyed Willie's ship. There we go. And the famous story is that the kids, the actors, hadn't seen this ship. That was a real, on a stage, real ship that they built, and they'd not seen it, so their reactions to it are genuine. They're like, "Wow, this is cool," sort of thing. There we go. There we see the water's not very deep at all, which is contradicted in a few minutes. And they even say the water's not deep. And then in a few minutes, everybody's high diving into the water, and it's really deep. So anyway, they go aboard the ship. Did the Fratellis go down the water slide? I don't think they did. They found another way. But the water slide didn't seem quicker than the way the Fratellis went. But maybe they found a shortcut. So they're on the ship. Find a chap lashed to the wheel with daggers in his eyes. We'll see in a minute. Oh, I've gone too far. Says, "Oh, it's just a skeleton. Look, just a skeleton. There you go. He's got daggers in his eyes. Is it Judge Doom?" Oh dear. Just a skeleton. It's probably a real skeleton as well. Like in Poltergeist, they use real skeletons for the swimming pool scene. That's probably a real skeleton as well. Because real skeletons were cheaper than fake ones, apparently. Right. Data's okay. He talks to himself and refers to himself in the third person, so he must be mental. He fell down, by the way. Fell through the flooring, the grating or whatever. But he's fine. Anyway, they eventually find One-Eyed Willie. Eventually. They find a little doll. I don't know what reference that has, but she finds a little doll. And then she pulls on a rope, and it opens this little hatch, and there's some writing there. They don't even read it. They just smash it all to bits. Maybe it just says, "Smash this to bits to get to the treasure." I don't know. But that's what they do. So they climb up, and they find out that they're in One-Eyed Willie's cabin, I suppose. And we see he's there with some of his crew, looking a bit peaky. And there's all the treasure on the table, gold and jewels and all that jazz. And they're all dead, obviously. And there's One-Eyed Willie with his eye patch. But we find out that he's actually got no eye at all. Mikey moves the eye patch, and we see there's just bone there. So he didn't really need an eye patch, did he, to be honest? Anyway. Mike has a little chat with One-Eyed Willie. I made it, I beat you, blah, blah, blah. And he had a little teary-eyed bit saying that One-Eyed Willie was the first Goonie. Then all the others arrive. So they decide to get the treasure. But Mikey says, leave that there. The one that's on the scales, leave the scales, because that's Willie's. And we find out why shortly. And to fill their pockets with all the other treasure, he empties his marbles out, does Mikey, and puts some jewels in instead of his marbles. That's important. So they're grabbing everything they can. And the Fratellis have arrived. They've got a gun. So Data tries another contraption that doesn't work. A boxing glove. Hang on, where have we got? I reckon Stephen King was inspired to write It to palate cleanse from watching Goonies. I think it came out before, didn't it? The book, anyway. I think it did. Can't remember, to be honest. I mean, there's good, kids' films, with child actors, but this just isn't one of them for me. Anyway, it's no Stand By Me, is it? Speaking of Stephen King. Anyway. Data's punching thing that comes out, doesn't work. It's himself. And then he tries his, his sucker thing that we saw earlier on with the on the oil drum. He tries that, and it. Let's have a look. Data's just unhappy. Is it? We'll see it here. Look, there we go. Straight on. Fastens to the gun somehow, finds enough purchase, enough area on the gun that the sucker can stick, and it pulls him towards her. So that didn't work. So they just, tell them to empty their jewels. So they're losing all their money. Mouth had loads of them in his mouth, obviously. They make Andy walk the plank, and so she goes into the water, but we'd learned, not long ago that it wasn't deep. They were stood up in it. It was like waist deep, wasn't it? But anyway, she's walked the plank. She said, I can't swim with my hands tied, and Brand goes into the water to save her. Then they start doing the others. I said, oh no, they're making us all walk the plank. But then Sloth arrives, Sloth and Chunk, and he does his Captain Blood thing. And it came out in 86. Oh, Goonies was 85. Well, I thought it was early. I thought it was earlier in the 80s. So maybe Otakar was right. Sloth arrives with Chunk. They does his Captain Blood thing with his dagger on the sails. Slides down, as we'll see. Are you ready? We've gone past it. Anyway, never mind. So he comes and saves them all. And they were going to, they were trying to make him to walk the plank, so that was a bad thing. But instead of doing that, they all just dived in the water anyway. Well, they all dive in anyway, so they were going there. But it's suddenly really deep all of a sudden. I don't know how. So off they go. The Fratellis are, trying to tie up Sloth, but obviously it doesn't work, and he knocks them out. And there's Josh Brolin saving Andy, and they kiss here. So there we go. They have a nice kiss there. Go on, get on with it. There we go. There we go. Why? And she says, what happened to your bracelets? And he says, I don't wear bracelets. Mikey wears bracelets. So that's how she learns that. She was kissing Mikey before. There's Sloth probably shouting, hey, you guys, or something. He said, tells his mama we're bad. She tries to be nice to him. But he chucks her overboard as well. So everybody's in the water, basically. They get out, and they're back on the boat, and they're taking the treasure, and she takes the treasure from the scales, and it sets off a booby trap in a minute. But anyway, meanwhile, there's been a cave in, but because they see sunlight, and Can't get through. It says, light a candle. I said, oh, it's a funny candle. It says dynamite. It's got dynamite written on it. Stupid boy. So they leave that, and the dynamite explodes. And I thought, maybe, you thought it'd just cleared the path, but it doesn't. It makes a big boulder come down. But then all the cavern starts to collapse a little bit, and boulders start dropping into the water. In reasonably good compositing is that word. Anyway, there we go. There's one. Obviously added after the fact, but it's fine. Hang on, we've got some more messages. Yeah, it came out in 86. Goonies was 85. As I said, I thought it was early. I could have sworn that it was like 82 or something like that, but obviously not. I thought it was one of his earlier books. I did. Right, what next? Would Goonies have worked better if it was a mini-series? It would these days, wouldn't it? It would have these days. It reminds me of that series about Psychic Girl with Number for a name. Oh, yeah, Stranger Things, yeah. Yes, 11, wasn't it? But anyway. Yeah. Right, so they're escaping. Women and children first. They'd set off a booby trap and everything was going wrong. I can't actually remember. They're in the water, look, treading water, even though it's supposed to be not deep. By the way, the ship, as you see there, is on rocks there, so it's obviously grounded on these rocks. Maybe the tide came in, as we'll see in a bit. But anyway, they get out. We saw earlier on, by the way, I forgot to point it out. Here we go. There's Sloth is holding up the big boulder, is holding it up, and they're all escaping through his legs. And then Chunk says, "Come with us," and he says, "Sloth love Chunk." Ah, bless him. But it says he goes, he escapes, and then the boulder collapses. He don't get killed, it's fine. It's fine. And then we see there we see the cavern appears to be opening up. Look, there's all sunlight coming through. And I thought, the ship's going to come sailing out, isn't it? Even though it seems to be on the rocks, maybe the water rises up a bit. Then we see a couple of policemen on quad bikes, and they see the kids. I think that is that Richard Donner. That might actually be Richard Donner. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks a bit like him. Does it say? Let's have a look on the cast list. No. Does it say on the I forgot his name now. On here we go. All cast and crew on IMDb. That's what I'm trying to say. It's there in front of my face. Anyway, police officer. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, Richard Donner's policeman. Yes, that is Richard Donner, the director of the film. Told you what a bear of a man, didn't I? Anyway, where were we? So they've got to call their parents and get them down. So they found the kids. They must have been reported missing, because maybe they've been gone overnight or whatever. They've been reported missing. So there we go. They get reunited. All the families all together, being reunited. They're all happy. Here's Data's parents. Is that David? See, let's look that up now. Is it David Yip? Data's father. Oh no, it's Michael Paul Chan. Sorry, I thought it was David Yip, the Chinese detective, who were also in a James Bond film. Anyway, but never mind. No, it's not him. It's somebody else. So they're all, and there we go. He's got his own invention, a camera on a thing that doesn't work properly, and it all goes wrong. So it says, just like his dad. There we go. That's okay, Daddy. You can't hug a photograph. Blah blah blah. We see Mouth and Steph. Yes, he was in. No, that was Dennis Dunn in Big Trouble in Little China. Unless he played one of the other characters, he could have done. We see Mouth and Steph seem to be having a relationship, a burgeoning relationship. There we go. So Josh Brolin and them are kissing, and then is this where we see the we see the Fratellis have arrived, and the police come to arrest them, and all the kids run to Sloth's defense. So there we go. So all right, and Chunk says you're going to come and live with us. I hope his parents agree. Having a huge chap living with them. I love you, Chunk. Love you, Sloth. Anyway, these bad guys have arrived with the the foreclosure chaps, and they've got a piece of paper that he's got to sign. There we're going to start signing it, but then Rosita, anyway, she finds Mikey's marble bag full of jewels. They just look like coloured glass, but the jewels. So they're going to use, and instead of keeping it for herself, because she thinks they're all druggies, all drug runners, but she doesn't keep it for herself. She tells them to don't sign it because they're rich now and they can buy the house there. Oh, and he throws it. I'll just play it. What do you want? He rips it up and he throws it up, and then you can see there's like somebody else has thrown a few more up as well as you watch. And he throws it up in the air. No more signing today or ever again. Oh, get it ripped up. Come on, throw it up in the air, man. There we go. So some come throwing up, and then some more as well. 2 lots for his money. It was they just walking the plank, and they mentioned an octopus. And apparently there's a deleted scene, isn't there, that might be in some television cuts of an octopus. But I didn't see that. Where are we? Walking the plank was scariest. Walking the plank. Found the pirate's treasure. Pirate's treasure. They're going to mention the octopus. Chased by the Fratellis. Oh, no, must have missed. It mentions an octopus in a minute. Were your lives in danger? There we go. Octopus was scary, and we never saw the octopus, did we? But apparently it's on a TV cut, which I've not seen. There's an octopus scene. Data's dad was in an episode of Babylon 5, The War Prayer. All right. There we go. Data's dad, as in Data on the Goonies, not Noonien Noonien Soong. Not Data from Star Trek, obviously. Anyway, so apparently there's an octopus. They encountered an octopus that we didn't see unless you watch a TV version that I've not seen. And then we see the pirate ship. The Inferno emerges from its cave. I don't know where. It's massive. Look at the size of it. It's bigger than the bloody landscape. How did it fit? Is it like a ship in a bottle where its masts all folded down? Well, no, there weren't, was there? Out it comes, and it goes sailing off into the horizon, into the pale blue yonder. I don't know. But off it goes. Bye, Willie. You think they go and jump on a boat and go get it? There's gold and jewels on that pirate ship. It's also, it's a danger to shipping, isn't it? They need to sort it out. Hang on, Joshua said something. I could swear I've seen the octopus scene, but it might be Mandela effect plus the Popeye movie. All right. Don't know. I've seen the Popeye movie once, years and years, when it first came out on VHS, and I hated it. It was awful. The Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil. Oh God, it were awful. Anyway, so that's anyway. The Inferno sails off. Hang on, I've done the wrong thing. The Inferno sails off. There we go. Then we get the credits. There we go. And the film ends, and there's nothing out. Nothing happens after. That's the end of the film. Another Monday movie. Yes. Popeye. No, because it's not a beloved film, is it? I'm trying to do films that are most people seem to like, but I hate. That's what I'm trying to do. Not just films I hate, generally. But anyway, But yeah, I might do Hook. I don't know though. Do a lot of people love Hook? I don't know. I didn't. I thought it was crap. But anyway, never mind Hook or Popeye. Hey, Ghostbusters. It's a classic. One of a near perfect film is Ghostbusters. Near. No film's perfect. Anyway, right, so we'll remove that. Right, so that was the Goonies. As I said, I don't like it. I don't hate it, you know. But I like The Princess Bride more than this. It just really annoys me. I think a lot of it maybe is because I don't think Richard Donner is a good director for children. He's an adult director. As I said, he's a big gruff bear of a man, and and I don't think is a good director for children. Let's make myself big so you can see my ugly face in 3D. Yeah, so I think that could have been it. I don't know which scene Steven Spielberg directed. That's one of the stories that Steven Spielberg directed a scene in this. I don't know which one. Probably the best one. Maybe the bit with Chunk doing his confession. Because he can direct kids, can Steven Spielberg, but I don't think Richard Donner can. I'm trying to think of films he's done with kids in. All I can think of is The Omen, with little Harvey Stevens in it as Damien. Anyway, but yeah, I don't like. As I said, I don't think it was a good film for Richard Donner to direct. It was a bit all over the place for me. Yeah, there were good sets and stuff and good, fun, I was watching it, particularly on the water slide bit, and and sorry, I'm laughing at Ottercart. Where are we? Oh, hang on, I've gone too far. There we go. I was a strange child. What was that? The Donner Cut of Superman 1 and 2 are great. I'm one of these people that prefers the theatrical version of Superman 2 over the Donner Cut. I do. I don't mind the Paris scene. I think the Paris scene works perfectly well in Superman 2, with the Eiffel Tower and all that. I think that works perfectly well. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And so there you go. But the Donner Cut is fine, but I don't think the Richard Lester version is any worse myself. But anyway, supposed to be talking about the Goonies. Yeah, as I was saying, I was thinking when I saw him doing on the water slide, I was thinking of the words of I forgot his name, the director. Oh, for God's sake. Goodfellas director. Why has it gone? I'm going to have to look it up. Martin Scorsese. Oh, thank God it came to me. Martin Scorsese. I think of the words of Martin Scorsese, where on about Marvel films these days, superhero films are. I think it was Martin Scorsese. I think it wasn't it. Are theme park rides. And that's what I think this film is. It's a theme park ride. It's Steven Spielberg's wanted to, before Pirates of the Caribbean came out, which were based on a theme park, ride, wasn't it? I think Steven Spielberg wanted to do his own version of Pirates of the Caribbean, but couldn't get the rights, so he just made his own version. That's what I think's happened here. But maybe that's true. I don't know. I haven't looked into the the behind the scenes. I haven't seen the making of Goonies because I don't like the film. So anyway, so right, we'll leave it there because we've got stuff to do. And my lad upstairs wants his dinner. He says he means supper, but he always calls it dinner. I think because supper has like bedtime connotations, and even though he's a grown man, he doesn't like going to bed. But he can stay up as long as he wants as a grown man. But he's autistic, I'm his carer. So I've got to put up with stuff from him, cut him a lot of slack. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So anyway, so thanks everybody for joining in. I'm sorry I don't like the Goonies. I was really getting angry at it, some parts of it. You know, as I said, my finger ends, the nerve endings were tingling. My finger ends were getting that cross. But some parts of it. But anyway, so thanks Ottercar and Joshua and Windgrace and anybody else joined in? No, that what it wanted. But thank you for your contributions. Again, yes, again, I'm allowed to be wrong. It's all a matter of opinion, isn't it? Every film that comes out is somebody's favourite film. And even the worst film ever made will be somebody's favourite film. So there we go. So I thought somebody was standing next to me then. Was it a ghost? I don't know. Is that the corner of my eye? I saw something there. Scared the willies out. I'm getting the chills now. But anyway. Every film ever made, is somebody's favourite film, no matter how bad it is. And I like some pretty bad films, to be honest. I should do another a stream about crap films that I like. Godzilla 98, for instance. Catwoman. I really like Catwoman. So I should do that, shouldn't I, as well? But you see enough of me. Right, we're going to leave it there. But yes, I am allowed to be wrong about certain things. So we'll leave it there. So again, thanks for joining in, and thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time. Next week, by the way, is Labyrinth. Another film I don't like that people seem to love. But next week it's Labyrinth. So until then, have a great week, and I'll see thee.